Hey, I'm Geeky Pastimes, and in this video I wanted to talk to you about packet burst. This is something that's been a massive problem for me for a very long time in Warzone and only in Warzone. So in this video I kind of wanted to explain what it is, how it's different from packet loss, some of the things I've tried to do to fix it that haven't worked, and kind of what I'm trying to do now. Now, I don't want this to be clickbaity, so I haven't got any solutions for you. I haven't got a way to fix this. I just wanted to make this video just to kind of put out some accurate information about what's going on here and what all of this kind of thing means. If you like the video, if you find it interesting, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you're suffering from this too in Warzone, and especially if you found anything that might help with it. So, packet burst is something that lots and lots of people have been dealing with on Warzone, but I've seen lots of like Reddit threads and things like that where people have kind of slightly misunderstood it, and they've misunderstood what the icons mean. So packet burst is not the same as packet loss. Packet burst is represented in-game by these three orange squares appearing on the left-hand side of your screen, and all three squares are solid. Now the packet loss symbol is very, very similar, but the middle square is hollow. The middle square's got a bit missing out of it. Now, as you can see in this video, I've put the packet loss thing on at the top just so you can see for yourself. I'm getting the packet burst icons quite a lot, but I'm not getting any packet loss at all, and that's because these are two different things. And I think because the names of them are so sort of similar, and the icons are so similar, there's lots of confusion when you Google for things about which one we're talking about. So what is packet burst and how does it affect the game? So packet burst essentially, and this is, my non-expert, I'm not a network expert at all, view of this and understanding of it after spending a long time reading about it. Packet burst is basically an issue where the bits of information that are being sent to and from your computer are considered packets. So when you're sending information over the internet, that information, rather than being sort of a steady stream of every single piece of information, it's kind of gathered together in something called a packet. Those packets have to be processed kind of every step of the way. So your computer has to create the packets, it then has to send those off, and then that'll get to another server, which will understand where that packet needs to go, and then send it onto another server, which will send that packet on somewhere, and so on, until it ends up getting to Activision servers for Call of Duty, and then their servers, the game servers, will have to unpack that packet, understand it, do whatever it needs to do as a result of it, and then it will do the whole same process back to you. So it'll be making packets that will be sent to you through that whole connection. Now, that's quite a complicated process, but obviously it happens incredibly quickly. It happens really, really fast all of the time in any online games that you're playing. Now, packet loss, which is something that I think people understand a bit better, is when some of those packets just never get to the right place. So at some point along the way, and when I said about all those servers, bear in mind it's not just your computer and the Activision servers. There's all of the computers that your ISP uses to route information from. That could be, lots and lots of different servers that your information actually goes through before it gets to the target. Every single one of those has a chance of messing up. It has a chance of dropping one of those packets, of not sending it to the right place, of just forgetting about it, and then you get packet loss, where some of the information never gets to the server. That's not what we're talking about. Packet burst is when the timings between the packets aren't what is expected or what is needed for the game to run smoothly. So rather than getting, say, and obviously it's much faster than this, but for the sake of, a hypothetical, think about it if, your computer was expecting one packet every second for the game to run smoothly. That was how much it needed. Obviously, it's way more than that, but let's say one a second. If you have packet burst, you might have a space of, say, 2 or 3 seconds where your computer doesn't get any packets, and then it gets all of those packets on the next second. So that means there's been a gap where it didn't have any information, then suddenly it got all of the information at once. Now, that means that your game will feel like you sort of randomly speed up, like a lot of things suddenly happen very quickly. And there might be little hitches where nothing happens and then suddenly it speeds up. And that's exactly what I feel when I'm playing the game. When I'm playing Warzone, I pretty consistently have this feeling, like, especially when I'm just running, that's when I notice it the most. If you're just sprinting across the field or something like that, you suddenly feel like you're not running at the same speed all the time, that you'll randomly keep speeding up. And that's because you're getting these packet bursts, you're getting this information from the server updating you on your position, I'm guessing. And they're not coming through at sort of a steady rate. Instead, you're getting them here and there. Now, in a gunfight, I'm sure this could be a really big deal. Like, this could matter a lot because you're getting things like, say, information about when you've been shot after it's actually happened. You're getting it a little bit too late. Or information about where the enemies are a little bit too late, which means your shots are going to miss. So it's a problem that can really affect your gameplay. Luckily, I'm not good enough at Warzone that it makes a massive difference. Like, I'm sure I'm not losing loads of games because of this, but it makes it more difficult and it makes it less fun to play, which is my biggest problem. It just makes it sort of feel less responsive. It makes it feel less predictable, which is very, very irritating. Now, as far as I know, there's nothing on sort of my end or on the end of people who get packet burst can do about this problem. You can see when it's happening. So like I said, you get these icons on the left. There's actually 3 different colors of them. There's yellow, orange, and red. I don't see the red ones that often. I see them very occasionally. That means sort of severe packet burst issues. Orange means moderate, and then yellow means mild. Normally when it's just yellow, I don't actually notice that much at all. When it gets to orange, that's when you start noticing the hitching and the movement problems and things like that. I get it in every single game, so it's quite an easy thing to test. Like, I barely played any games where I don't have it to at least some extent. It seems like over the last month or so it's got a lot worse. Now, like I said, I don't think it's something that I can change, like from my end, from hardware-wise. And the reason I think that is because I'm lucky enough to have Call of Duty on all 3 platforms. So I have it on the Xbox and on the PlayStation and on the PC. And I mean, if you've got all of those platforms, you can test it yourself using Warzone. I get exactly the same issue on my PlayStation 5 that is wired with Ethernet downstairs. And that's like right next to the router, just using one Ethernet cable going straight to the router. I have it on my PC, which is actually upstairs connected through sort of a power line connection, which, you know, I thought could be the issue, but then I realized that it doesn't matter even if I plug straight into the router. So that gets it as well. And I get it on the Xbox. So 3 different computers sort of rules out the idea that it's one of those pieces of hardware doing something that caused it. I've also actually, I had it with the PlayStation 4, I had it with the Xbox One, and I had it with my old PC. So I've actually used it with 6 different systems and had the exact same issue. I've also used a variety of different routers. So the routers that the ISP provided, as well as 2 other routers that I've bought. They all had exactly the same issue. I've also had 2 different modems. So I actually went from I'm with Virgin at my ISP, and I originally had their sort of home broadband package, and I used that router, their super hub. And then I've got the new router because I'm with the business package now, and that has exactly the same issue. Doesn't make any difference. I've tried all of the things that you'd expect, so things like changing QoS settings to basically every possible version of that. I've tried port forwarding, which is obviously the thing that people immediately jump on to suggest, and maybe it might fix some people's problems. Like, I've no idea how many different things could cause this, but it definitely didn't fix it for me. And then I've tried other things, you know, like, even though it's not a good idea to have it in there for a while, I've experimented with things like using the DMZ to do it. I've tried lots and lots of different sort of traffic management things to see if that works. Nothing seems to be fixing it. Now, the other really interesting thing is that even though, you know, this all points to the idea that it's something to do with my ISP or Activision servers, that I have friends who live in the same city I do or the same county that I do, who can be playing with me, so connecting to the same servers, we're connecting to the same game servers, and they are on the same ISP, and they don't have the same issue. So they don't get the packet bursts at all. So that makes me think, and again, I'm happy to hear in the comments if people have other ideas about what could be causing this, it makes me think there's some issue between my particular address and the way the ISP is routing that connection to the servers. That's where the issue is. Now, obviously, that's an incredibly difficult thing to fix. I've started the process with Virgin of going through their support. It's part of the reason why I got the business package. I've started that process of kind of giving them evidence, explaining what the issue is, making sure they realize it's not packet loss. I've had to correct them repeatedly that it's not packet loss that I'm having trouble with, and trying to make sure that they fully understand this. They're sort of going through this process of wanting lots of evidence at the moment and saying that, oh, well, there's a fault in your area for the last couple of days. And it's like, yep, this has been happening since March. But still, I'm sort of, humouring them and going through that whole process. And if I get any kind of resolution from them, if there's anything that they can do to sort of change the way that my connection is routed, then I'll let you know if that works, although obviously it's not a brilliant solution for anyone else. If any of you have had this issue, if any of you have managed to fix it somehow, please do let me know. Like I said, I don't think there's anything we can do from the sort of our end, but obviously with things like this, where it doesn't seem to affect a huge amount of people, it's something that it's quite hard to find solutions for online. You can find lots of suggestions and things, but I haven't found anyone who's saying, yep, this 100% fixed it, this is the thing that solved my problems, other than a couple of people who did do the port forwarding, and that helped, which obviously, like I said, in my situation, it hasn't. So anyway, like I said, sorry I don't have a solution for you, sorry I don't have a fix for you. This is just something that I haven't seen many people talking about, and it really does affect me playing Warzone quite a lot. Like, it puts me off playing Warzone, to be honest. And it's something that I'd very much like to see some kind of fix for. If there's anyone from Activision or, Raven who want to chip in, that would be absolutely incredible. If there's anything that can be changed from the server end that would do this, if there's ever an update to the game that might be fixed this, or even if they just said, we're working on it, we know it's an issue and it's something we're working on, that would be awesome. Because to add to all these things, I don't have this problem in any other game, including Black Ops Cold War and in Fireteam. I don't have this problem at all. And I've never had this problem in a single game for anywhere else. It's just Warzone, which is very, very strange and very frustrating, because it's a game that I really enjoy playing most of the time. So if you found this video helpful, if you found this sort of interesting at all, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to see more videos of me just talking about stuff, I've moved things like Geeky Weekly and those kind of more ranty, rambling kind of videos over to my YouTube memberships. So if you want to see those, you need to sign up for YouTube memberships, and then you'll see all of these extra videos that kind of, they're all the little things that I don't think a huge number of people would be interested in, but I like making them, and some people like hearing about them. So if you want to give that a go, just become a member of the channel. You should see a button that says join, and you can press that. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.